Hey guys, another video from the Weiss Schwarz Club. Today we have another deck profile from WGP 2021 with a friend Shinobu. Can you take it off?
No. Alright. First, I'd like to thank Weiss Schwarz Club to highlight my deck profile. I was playing Saekano, went 3-1 at Card Arena, and I'll start it off with the choice restriction I picked. So I picked for Saekano, I picked the runner choice. It's from what you guys know, from the restriction list, it's a mill runner. Opponent stack phase, mill 1, and you can run anyone in the front row. Second effect is where the profile really shines. It's pay 1, send this to memory. Top trick 4, add a game character trait. Basically, it doesn't have to be standing for this effect, so later on you'll see why that matters, but basically this is the card I picked from the restriction list. Moving on, playing 4 of this entity. Basically, she's an on reverse drop searcher. So basically, pay 1, discard 1, search your deck for a game trait character, and add it to your hand. Second effect is pretty good for what it does. It's on play, give another character 2k. Basically, buffs the runner, kills something, and has a memory effect basically. So it's also pretty standard. So as you can see where this is going, it's a memory heavy deck. Moving on, we have this card. This card is basically an on reverse Ricky of a sort, but it's not trade locked. I mean, it's not level locked. So basically, on reverse, pay 1, clock yourself, send this to memory, and you can salvage any game traded character from your waiting room. Essentially, not being level locked means that you can have access to any card you want from the waiting room. Helps in the early game. You can push yourself to level 1, hopefully, assuming nothing happens. But only play 3 copies. No need to max it out. Moving on, we have this Utaha. Basically, we're going for the first effect. First effect is when you play a Climax, any Climax, you can bounce it back to your hand, give a character 1k until the end of opponent's turn. And then the second effect is basically an Amagi. When you play any Climax, you can pay 1, top check 4 of your deck, add a game trait character, and add it to your hand. Basically, because I'm playing, because I'm letting you guys know, I'm playing 8 gold bars, so I will effectively be using this as often as I can to get an extra +1 almost every turn if possible. Moving on, because I'm playing 8 gold bars, I'm playing 2 copies of this on play pitch Climax salvage. Reason I'm playing 2 copies is 1, it's a red fix. It does matter a little bit later on, but for the most part, red is the color I need to splash in to try to play certain cards later on in the game. And this is one of the best cards I can have access to, and being a pitch Climax salvage in 8 gold bar actually helps out because I can have more access to the waiting room to just get whatever I want. Assuming I flick Climaxes, but moving on. I'm playing 2 copies of this Kato PR. First effect is on reverse. I can Rize, so basically look at up to 3 cards from the top of my deck. I can add a game trait character to my hand and discard 1. And second effect is on send from stage to waiting room. I can send a specific 3/2 Kato, which is this specific one right here, from my waiting room to memory. So this is the other piece of the gold bar combo I'm playing for this deck. Basically, I'm just trying to see if I get some free memory with this card, and the Rize effect does help in terms of pitching the extra Climaxes in my hand if I have that issue. And just moving through the deck through the first rotation is also really nice. Only playing 2 copies. Then I'm only playing 1 copy of this Kato Brainstormer from set 1. First effect is when I use any startup, I can assign 500 somewhere. And second effect is just a regular pay 1, tap self, salvage Brainstorm. I'm only playing 1 copy because, as I mentioned earlier, since I'm playing 8 gold bar, I prioritize the Utaha as getting a +1 because I'm gonna pay 1, look at 4, and get a card for sure, as opposed to the Brainstormer where I will have to hope to hit a climax and try to salvage something off that effect. So this is not as reliable most of the time, and if I'm playing a gold bar, there's a chance that I could be not having as many climaxes in my deck as I hope to have. So only one copy. And then moving on to the tech choice in my zero line, I'm playing this 0/0 Entity anti-salvage. So what anti-salvage does is basically during the attack phase, if either player salvages a character from waiting room, all characters in the front row lose 3 soul. So this is the tech choice I had because of certain matchups I was thinking I was going to play against. For example, like Zombieland. What else was there? Maybe like anyone plays like Slime, the Shizu combo, which is basically on attack mill 2, combined level salvage. That's also something people will be playing. Any choice decks people play, that basically means they would have to stock a card from waiting room to stock instead of salvaging. So like that's an issue there. I think other decks, I'm not too sure in the meta that people are gonna be playing. Oh yeah, there's Kaguya, but Kaguya doesn't really get hit too much because they do have standby. So basically this was like a good tech choice I had at the time to try to counter some of the more prominent decks hoping to play against. Moving on to the level 1 gold bar choice combo that I picked, I was playing set 2 Kato bounce back Climax combo. Basically, when I play the climax, so on a climax placement, it gets the following effect. It gets, when this card gets run attacked, I can bounce this card back to my hand. And second effect is on attack, I could pay 1 to twin drive, basically trigger twice. First effect is if I have 2 or more game characters, it gets 1k continuous. Basically, non-interactable combo basically denies my opponents on reverse combos, which very few people didn't play, so it doesn't really matter as much. But the bounce back is nice. You can effectively play a climax every turn, and you can just like swing basically with this card. Just free pluses. And the highlight of the deck is this card right here, is the 1/0 Kato. So the first effect is a Shimakai, which is on attack. Choose a character, give it X power. X power is equal to the number of other characters on the board times 500. And the second effect is when this attacks, all my characters, even including itself, when I would trigger a gold bar, all my characters get the effect of I can draw 1 and then I can discard 1. So where this really shines is where I get to the next card, which is this 1/0 events. So I'm only playing 3 copies. Would have liked to play 4, but I think with the deck slots at the moment, I think 3 was good enough. Basically, the drop pitch effect on the Shimakai helps me try to get this event more often, if possible. And what this event does is I rest 2 of my standing game trait characters, and then I search my deck for a game character, add it to my hand, then I choose a game trait character from my waiting room, put it to stock, and then I send this card to the bottom of the deck. So basically where this card really shines is the reason why I picked the runner. So effectively I just rest this, or maybe a second copy if I have it, or I rest the Amagi Utaha. Basically I just get a free plus of resting these 2 cards, and then I can use the runner's effect to pay 1, send this to memory, top check for add 1, and then I could play a climax and then bounce the Utaha back to my hand. Basically, non-demerit of this card to bypass this card's demerit, and I get the free extra stock from the effect of this, and I can search my deck to see what the deck looks like after I maybe trigger some gold bar throughout the game, or like get a card I want from the deck for maybe like a combo or like something else. But basically, this card helps me get this more often, and this card helps me look at the deck. It's a really good card overall, and yeah, it's like really good. Moving on, I'm playing 2 copies of this red Free Fresh Utaha backup. Basically, it's a generic Free Fresh. When you play the backup, you pay 2 extra stock, and you can combine your waiting room to your deck and shuffle it. Basically, helps in some matchups where like if you feel like you're just out of a bunch of gold bars and then you need a refresh early, really helpful. Play 2 copies because it's also my extra red fix. As you can see, the most of the deck is mostly just green, and yeah, there's not that much red. Playing 1 copy of this Kato. First effect is a Climax Combo. Climax Combo with this gold bar. I can discard a card, send this to memory, and play this specific 3/2 Kato from my memory to the stage. Basically, it's not really there for that effect unless like I really need it, but the option is nice. Second effect is on attack, if it attacks a level 3 or higher character, it gets plus 4k and 1 soul. So essentially it's a 11k 2 soul beater against maybe like some early plays people play, or like some late game, maybe one stock for like 2 soul beater. It's pretty good. But overall it's like a card I just have here as the extra slot for the 3/2 if I need it, or level 3 killer early. Moving on, the next tech choice I play is a 2/1 Tomoya Soul Support. So the second effect is relevant, it bonds to a card I do not play. But the first effect is it gives assist 500 front and +1 soul to the characters. So effectively I'm taking this card in against some standby matchups, because with my bounce back combo, effectively they'll always come back to my hand, and when I hit level 2, I can just play this, and then play Climax, and I could just side for like ones. Maybe if I get like a trigger, I get like a 2, right? So basically this just helps out in the mid game where like I just like can't kill these like 2/2s or like standby targets of some sort, and I just the extra soul just helps me get there. Moving on to the level 3. Basically, I'm playing 3 copies of this 3/2 Kato. What this card does, it has a lot of different, multiple effects. So the first effect is on attack, I can look at top card of my deck. I can look at it. If I do, I put it underneath as a marker, and it gets the following effects depending on the number of markers it has. So if it gets 1 marker, it becomes untargetable. So your opponent cannot choose this as a target for cards. Second effect, second marker, it gets 1k continuous. Third marker, it gives all other characters 1k power. So it's not, the only thing that matters is you get the 1 marker, and your opponent cannot choose this as a target for anything, which is like really good because some people are playing rest counter, money counter, etc, etc. So being hexproof is like really valuable. Second effect is the Climax Combo, which combos with the gold bar. Basically on reverse, with the gold bar I can clock kick the opponents, and that's it basically. So, and the third effect is basically on your opponent's turn, I can assign a game character 4k power. So it just walls up, and I have the option to clock kick if I need to. But overall, it's there for the hexproof because some people are attacking those. I need to attack against those cards. Then I'm playing 3 copies of this early play Kato, base early play condition, 2 or less climaxes. And then it heals on play from hand. And the third effect is a Shimikai, like I explained earlier. It's on attack, give a character X power, X is equal to the number of other characters times 500. Just a generic healer I have. If I early play, I can early play it. This isn't the main target for the red, basically, if I need it. Moving on to the one of the last couple of 3s I'm playing. I'm playing 3 copies of this Edity. This Edity is basically a vanilla healer of a sort. It's basically on play. If I have two or more other game traded characters, I can heal a character from my clock to memory. And that's pretty much it. The second effect is it gets 500 for every other character. So basically it's just a vanilla healer of sort that I just have at level 3, and it can heal to memory. So I'm increasing my compression in the memory at that point. Last card, I'm playing 1 copy of this Utaha Restander. Basically it has 2 effects. On attack, it gets 1/5 power. If I have 2 or more other game traded characters. Second effect is on reverse, pay 2, discard 1, and then send another character from stage to waiting room, and I could restand this. Basically, I'm just taking the one copy because I'm walling up a little bit at my level 3s. I don't really need as much. But in some matchups, maybe where they break board and I just need the extra bit of push, this card combined with maybe the soul assist can get me enough damage where like if I restand, I can side for 1 or 2 damage and just to clean up the game. Basically, it's just an option there if I need it. And lastly, for the climaxes, like I said, 8 gold bar, 4 and 4 for the level 1 and level 3. And that's pretty much it.
Alright, thanks. I know it's been a while, but have you remembered, do you remember what your match was and how it was at WGP?
Yeah, so basically I had a breakdown on the Encore decks. You can post it in the comments as well.
Okay.
But basically my first round was against a 8 pants Hololive deck, if I remember correctly. They were playing level 1 Lammy combo, which is basically an on reverse combo. Unfortunately, I did not get my level 1 Climax combo before them, so that was the unfortunate part. But other than that aspect, I did everything in the game did what it's supposed to. I got a couple cards in memory, compressed really well. I early played a level 2 to try stall out the game, and then my opponent was playing the Aqua combo, the Aqua level 3 pants combo. So basically, their choices of options is like stocks. Stocks up the deck basically,
Or burn 3.
Or burn 3, right? Because I don't have as much stock sometimes because I'm playing the memory, like mostly a memory line. I don't, on average, I don't have like that much stock, probably like 4 or 5 stock here and there, maybe. And my deck state was in a position where like my opponent can't really take advantage of the effect.
Yeah.
And then burn 3 was really questionable for them. So what they did was they tried to take an extra turn at level 3, and that cost them the game because basically, I just needed 6 damage to win because they were about to refresh. So essentially, what happened was I had a gold bar and I had a Kato. Basically, I did 6 damage. No, I did 5 damage plus a clock kick, and that was 6. I needed to basically win the game because they were 1 card left in deck and they had to draw for turn.
Okay.
Second match was against 8 Standby Mushoku, which was a little bit unfortunate on my opponent's part, to be fair, but I was like already pretty much set up. So the problem that happened was the Mushoku player bricked a little, and because they bricked a little, I had an extra turn at level 3 that basically changed the flow of the game because I basically got 3 extra stock in the early game that I could funnel towards everything else I needed in the rest of the game. And I basically just won at level 2 because like my opponent, I was always pushing enough damage back and forth. So if I took damage, the opponent took a little bit of damage, and basically throughout the progression of the game, I just won at level 2. So and I was taking advantage of the fact I was playing 8 gold bar. So basically I was playing a climax every turn. Like the point I mentioned against some of these decks, right? Like the 8 Standby Mushoku. Third matchup, I was playing against the famous choice pants Bang Dream deck, but I was playing against a 5 choice 3 pants version. In that matchup, everything looked okay in the early game. I played around the runner. Basically, I played a character in the left slot. After that, I basically played my level 1 Climax combo, which was normal. My opponent played basically the normal Nanami combo, etc. Good to low deck, refresh well. And then they played like the Choo Choo early play, but they only played 1 Choo Choo, and I believe they didn't have a patio, or they did have a patio, but only 1 Choo Choo. But basically, I took advantage of that, and what helped was this Kato right here. Basically, with enough power and the soul assist Tomoya, basically what I had was I think I also had a Shimakai, if I remember correctly. I think I had a Shimakai. So basically what happened was, I think I had it like ranged like this or something, like this here, and then like this in the center or something. So basically I Shimakai'd to pump the 2-1. The soul support was in front of this. This one was siding the 2-1 patio, I think. Because the patio is not really a threat, the Choo Choo's a threat. So I got this big enough to try to kill the 3/2 choo because they only had one copy. So if I answered it early, then I don't have to like worry about it for like a while unless they like rebuild the board essentially. And like that plan worked out well. The soul support did give me extra power because sometimes I didn't have a climax in that matchup. So it really helped there where like that's like shined the most. And then I pulled through towards the end. Basically, I was in a scenario the same game as like the first game. Basically, I had enough damage plus a clock kick and I just won the game essentially there. So that was that matchup. Fourth round was where the key point ones. I was XO up until that point. I played against 4 pants, 4 choice summer pockets. So unfortunately, I still didn't ever got my level 1 combo I love before them, and they were playing on reverse combo. Truly unfortunate second time around. I was doing pretty well until the end game where we were going back and forth. Everything was going smooth. My opponent canceled my level 3 turn. I was 3-0. And they were like at 3-1, 3-2, maybe something like that. And they decided to drop double Shiki and a 2 soul beater. And this is where I lost. Basically, I had 3 climaxes in a 10 card deck. They used one of their card effects that like top check 2 of the opponent deck, and they just saw I was clean, so they swung with 2 soul beater first. The 2 stuck. So now I'm hoping for like my 3 in like 8 and my 3 climaxes in 8 card scenario, where I hope the first Shiki, I hope to cancel at least 1 or 2 of the damages, but then my opponent triggers, so I'm T-swinging for 1 4 times. And in that scenario, I hope I get a 2 out of the 4, but I only got 1. So now I'm at 3-5 with 2 in deck, and they have another Shiki. And they trigger on that one as well, so I lost that game basically. So the 2 climaxes can't save me in that scenario. Mm-hmm. The unironic part in that game was that I did have a free fresh counter in hand. So hoping in terms of like if the second attack didn't like cancel only once, if I hope for like a second copy at least, then maybe I would have like free freshed and try to hope to cancel on the last attack, because my deck wasn't in a state where I can hope to cancel with the last climax. And he also triggered twice, so that was the unforeseen circumstance there. But that's where I lost, and that's where the round ended because I went X1 because that match was also a pair down, and because of that, there was only one undefeated after that round because I lost that round.
Save a lot of people some time, you know?
Yeah, so because I lost, basically that's where I went X1 and the tournament ended and I went 3-1 essentially.
Okay, so last question. Now that we know that a Saekano movie set's coming out, what do you think you would want from the set, or any kind of changes you would make to the deck?
Basically, when Saekano movie comes out, I'd hope for like maybe a new level 3 bar combo if you want to upgrade this deck essentially. Like this combo is like okay good. But I still would hope that it would be something else, because like on reverse clock kick is nice and such, but I think maybe because this package also comes out early, so it kind of like contradicts a little bit in the fact that you try to clock kick with combo. I'm hoping if they do something similar to in Saekano movie set, it could be like a Nexo combo or a I forget what other combo would be really good. Maybe like a burn combo of some sort, you know, or like a restand combo on Gold Bar. So that way, like, there's at least some advantage of like early playing like this, like a 3-2 of some sort. But if it's not early playable, then maybe like I mentioned, burn combo or like a restand combo would be nice. If it's another clock kick combo, I'd hope it'd be like different, like other different effects on it, maybe like a heal or like something else, you know. But other than that, like I'd hope for a Gold Bar combo. Other than that, maybe I doubt they're gonna give us more memory stuff. It's possible, but it'll probably be restricted. I think the other option would be like a level 0 that has like a Gold Bar effect of some sort. So instead of like where is it? So instead of like this where I have a drop pitch effect, like drop pitch effect is nice. I think I would still keep this because it, you know, try to get the events and stuff. But maybe if there's like a good 0 where you can take advantage of, like if you trigger gold bar, you can discard it and salvage something. That'll all be nice. At that point, I would cut the anti-salvage for it. Basically, that's what the slot goes for, and then maybe I could cut the extra brainstorm as well. There's also these other 2 promo slots as well. So basically, there's slots I can take out here to add that card if it actually does exist of some sort in the new movie set, essentially.
All right, thanks to Shinobu for this deck profile.
Yep.
And any last minute shout outs before we close off?
I like to shout out one of my friends. His name is Kemp. He let me borrow, essentially let me borrow the level 1 Climax Combo because I did not have it in base rarity, and I needed to swap out rarities going to WGP because I don't like playing min and max mixed decks. So it seems kind of weird.
First world problems, right?
Yeah, but yeah. So like basically, yeah. I like to give a shout out to him, and then I'll shout out everyone in the Weiss Schwarz club and Weiss for like for the quality time we have, like just play testing some matches and stuff. Basically, I played out like the other different decks, and then at the end of the day, I arrived at 8 gold bar Saekano to take to Quad Arena, essentially.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.